Michael Landon's bedroom, Malibu, May 1991. The room smelled like medicine and fear. Michael lay in bed, 54 years old, dying from pancreatic cancer. He'd lost 40 pounds. His famous smile was gone, replaced by the empty stare of someone counting days. His wife Cindy sat beside him, trying to be strong, failing. Michael's best friend, producer Kent McCrae, was there too. They'd run out of things to say. What do you say to a man who's dying, who knows he's dying, who's terrified? The room felt heavy, crushing, like death was already there waiting. Then they heard a car in the driveway. Cindy looked out the window. "It's Dean Martin." Michael's eyes flickered. Dean? Why would Dean come here? They barely knew each other. Worked together once years ago, some variety show. But Dean had heard Michael was sick. Heard he was scared. So Dean came. He walked into that room and the air changed. Not because Dean was a star, because Dean understood something about death that Michael didn't yet. Something Dean had learned when his son died, when Sammy died, when everyone he loved kept leaving. Dean sat down, looked at Michael, and said something that made Cindy start crying, made Kent leave the room because he couldn't handle it, and made Michael Landon, for the first time in 3 months, stop being afraid. April 5, 1991. Michael Landon held a press conference at his home. He looked directly at the cameras and told America he had pancreatic cancer, couldn't be operated on, would kill him. The outlook was bad. Months, maybe weeks. Michael had always been honest with his audience. He'd played Charles Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie for 9 years. America's father figure, the man who taught moral lessons, who always knew what to say, who made everything okay. Now, Michael was the one who needed help, and he didn't know how to ask for it. The press conference was professional. Michael answered questions, stayed calm, said he'd fight, said he was hopeful. But when the cameras left, Michael broke down completely. Cindy found him in the bathroom on the floor, sobbing. "Michael, it's okay." "No, it's not. I'm dying, Cindy. I'm 54 and I'm dying." He looked up at her, his face raw with terror. "I'm so scared. I don't know how to do this." Cindy held him. But what could she say? What could anyone say? Over the next few weeks, visitors came. Friends from Hollywood, co-stars from Little House. They brought flowers, cards, positivity. "We're praying for you. You're strong. You'll beat this." But Michael knew better. The doctors had been clear. This wasn't the kind of cancer you beat. This was the kind that killed you fast. Michael stopped sleeping, would lie awake at night thinking about death, about not existing, about his children growing up without him, about Cindy alone, about everything ending. The fear ate at him, made the physical pain worse, made every moment torture. Not the torture of cancer, the torture of waiting, of knowing, of counting down. By mid-May, Michael rarely left his bedroom, too weak, too tired, but mostly too scared. Scared that if he left, even for a moment, death would catch him. That somehow staying in that room kept him safe, even though he knew it didn't. Kent McCrae visited almost every day. Kent had produced Little House with Michael. They'd been friends for 20 years. Kent tried to help, tried to distract Michael with stories, with memories of better times. But Michael couldn't focus. "Can't stop thinking about it, Kent. Every second. How much time do I have left? How will it happen? Will it hurt?" Kent didn't know what to say. Just sat there, present, but helpless. One afternoon in late May, Kent was sitting with Michael when the phone rang. Cindy answered in another room. Came back looking surprised. "Dean Martin is downstairs. He wants to know if he can come up." Michael looked confused. "Dean Martin? I barely know him. Why would he come here?" Kent shrugged. "Maybe he heard you were sick." Michael hesitated. "I don't want people seeing me like this." But Cindy was already going to let Dean in. She'd heard something in Dean's voice, something gentle, something that made her trust him. Dean Martin walked into that bedroom and everything changed. Not dramatically, not obviously, but subtly, like someone had opened a window in a room that had been sealed shut for weeks. Dean was 73 years old. He looked old, gray hair, thin body, moving slowly, but his eyes were alert kind. He looked at Michael, really looked at him. Not the way most visitors did, not with pity or sadness or fear. With recognition, like he saw something familiar. "Hello, Michael." Dean's voice was soft, rough from years of smoking, but steady. Mind if I sit? Michael nodded, still confused. Dean pulled up a chair close to the bed. Not at a distance, right there where Michael couldn't hide. Where pretending was impossible. How you doing? Dean asked. Michael laughed bitterly. How do you think? I'm dying. Dean nodded. Yeah, I heard. That's why I came. Michael looked at him. Why? We barely know each other. Dean was quiet for a moment. Then, I know what it's like. What's like? To be scared of dying, Dean said it simply, without drama, just fact. Michael felt something break inside. Finally, someone who wasn't trying to tell him to be brave. Someone who just understood. Are you scared of dying? Michael asked. Yeah, Dean said. Every day since I was young. Since I realized it was coming for everyone. Michael sat up slightly. You? Dean Martin? You're not scared of anything. Dean smiled. That half smile. That's the act, kid. The persona, the drunk who doesn't care about anything. Truth is, I care about everything. And I'm terrified of all of it, especially dying. Cindy was standing near the door. She felt tears start. This was what Michael needed. Not positivity, not false hope, just honesty, just someone willing to sit in the fear with him instead of trying to fix it. What are you scared of? Michael asked. About dying? Dean leaned back. Thought about it. Lots of things. Not existing anymore, leaving people behind. The actual moment, that change from alive to dead. What's that like? Can you feel it happening? Do you know? Michael nodded. Yes, exactly. Those are my questions, too. Dean looked at him. I don't have answers. Nobody does. But I've thought about it a lot. Had to. Lost too many people not to. Your son. Michael said quietly. He'd heard about Dean Paul Martin. The plane crash. 1987, 4 years ago. Dean's face tightened just slightly. Yeah. My son and others. My parents, friends. Sammy. Dean paused. Sammy Davis Jr. had died a year earlier. May 1990. Cancer, too. Did you see him before he died? Michael asked. Dean nodded. Yeah, I went. It was hard. Harder than I expected. Why? Dean looked at Michael. Because Sammy was scared, just like you are. And I didn't know how to help him. Didn't know what to say. Just sat there useless. Michael felt relief wash over him. Not because of what Dean said, because of what Dean admitted. That he didn't have answers. That he'd been exactly where Michael was, sitting with someone dying, feeling helpless. Did it help? Michael asked. You being there? Dean thought about it. Sammy said it did. Said having someone who wasn't trying to fix him, who just sat with him, made it easier. Not easy, but easier. Michael was quiet. Then everyone who comes here tries to make me feel better. Tells me I'm strong, that I'll beat this, that I need to stay positive. Dean nodded. Yeah, people do that. They can't handle the reality, so they cover it with optimism. Does it help? Michael shook his head. No, it makes me feel alone. Like I'm the only one who knows how bad this is. You're not, Dean said. We all know. We just don't want to say it out loud. So say it, Michael challenged. Say what you think is going to happen. Dean met his eyes. You're going to die, probably soon. It's going to be hard for you and for everyone who loves you. And when it's over, you'll be gone, and life will keep going without you. Cindy gasped. Kent stood up, looked like he wanted to interrupt, but Michael held up his hand. Stop them. Keep going, Michael said to Dean. Dean continued. And that's terrifying because we're built to survive, to fight, to keep going. And dying is the opposite. It's giving up. It's letting go of everything. Your body, your thoughts, your identity, everything that makes you you. It all stops and we don't know what happens next. Maybe nothing, maybe something, but we don't know. And not knowing is the worst part. Michael's eyes filled with tears. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm scared of. Dean leaned forward. I know, and I'm going to tell you something that might not help, but it's all I've got." Michael nodded, listening. "We're all dying, Michael. Every single one of us. You just know your timeline. The rest of us are pretending we don't have one, but we do. I could die tomorrow. Kent could. Cindy could. Anyone. We're all walking toward the same door. You're just closer to it, and you can see it clearly while the rest of us pretend it's not there. Does that make it easier?" Michael asked. Dean shook his head. "No, but it makes it honest. And honest is better than pretending." Michael wiped his eyes. "I'm so tired of pretending. Of putting on a brave face, of acting like I'm okay when I'm not." "Then stop," Dean said simply. "Stop pretending. You're dying. It's terrible. It's unfair. It's scary. You don't have to be brave about it." "But everyone expects." "What everyone expects," Dean interrupted, his voice sharper now, "you don't owe anyone your bravery. You don't owe anyone your strength. The only thing you owe yourself is honesty. And the honest truth is you're terrified. So be terrified." Cindy was crying now openly. But they weren't sad tears. They were relief tears. Michael looked different, like a weight had been lifted. "You're right," Michael said. "I am terrified. And I'm tired of pretending I'm not." Dean nodded. "Good. That's the first step." "First step to what?" "To accepting it. You can't accept what you're not willing to admit." Michael took a breath. "Okay, I admit it. I'm dying and I'm scared. What's the next step?" Dean smiled. "There isn't one. That's it. You admit it, you feel it, and you stop fighting the fear. Does the fear go away?" "No. But you stop drowning in it. You learn to float." Michael looked at Dean. "How do you know all this?" Dean was quiet. "Then, because I've been preparing for death since I was 17 years old. Every person I've loved knowing I'd lose them. Every moment I've enjoyed knowing it would end. It's made my life harder, but it's also made it real. No illusions, no surprises, just acceptance." They sat in silence for a long time. Cindy sat down. Kent came back. The four of them just existed in that room together. No one trying to fix anything. No one offering false hope, just presence. Finally, Dean spoke again. "Can I tell you what I think happens when you die?" Michael looked up. "Please." Dean chose his words carefully. "I think the fear is worse than the actual thing. I think we spend so much time being scared of death that we forget to notice we're still alive. And when death actually comes, it's probably quieter than we imagine. Not traumatic, not terrifying, just a transition, like falling asleep." "Do you really believe that?" Michael asked. Dean shrugged. "I want to, and wanting to believe something is sometimes enough." Michael nodded, processing. "Then thank you." "For what?" "For not lying to me. For not telling me it's going to be okay. For just sitting here and being scared with me." Dean stood up slowly. His knees weren't what they used to be. "I should go. Let you rest." Michael reached out, grabbed Dean's hand. "Will you come back?" Dean looked at him. "If you want me to." "I do," Michael said. "I really do." Dean squeezed his hand. "Then I will." Dean left. And the room felt different. Not happier, not fixed, but breathable. Cindy looked at Michael. "Are you okay?" Michael smiled. A real smile for the first time in weeks. "Yeah, I think I am." "What did he do?" Kent asked. Michael shook his head. "He didn't do anything. He just told me the truth and let me be scared. That's all I needed." Dean came back 3 more times over the next month. Each visit was similar. They'd sit, talk about death, about fear, about letting go. Dean never offered solutions, never tried to make Michael feel better, just sat with him in the darkness. And somehow that was exactly what Michael needed. On Dean's last visit in late June, Michael was weaker, could barely sit up, but his eyes were clear, peaceful. "Dean," Michael said, his voice barely a whisper. "Yeah. Thank you. You taught me something." "What's that?" "That it's okay to be scared. That being scared doesn't make me weak. It makes me human." Dean's eyes were wet. "Yeah, kid. That's exactly right. Michael smiled. I'm ready now. Dean nodded. I know you are. They sat together for another hour, not talking, just being. When Dean left, he hugged Cindy. Take care of him. She nodded, unable to speak. Dean walked out, got in his car, sat there for 10 minutes crying. For Michael, for Sammy, for his son, for everyone he'd lost, for everyone he was going to lose, for himself. Michael Landon died on July 1, 1991, surrounded by family, at peace as much as anyone can be. Cindy called Dean to tell him. Dean thanked her, hung up, poured a drink, raised it to the sky, to Michael, to Sammy, to everyone who'd gone before, and to everyone still waiting. Dean Martin died 4 years later, December 25, 1995, Christmas Day, breathing failure. By all accounts, he went quietly, not fighting, just letting go the way he'd told Michael to do. Cindy Landon was asked about Dean's visits in a 2005 interview. She said Dean gave Michael something no one else could. Permission. Permission to be scared. Permission to be honest. Permission to die without pretending to be brave. That was the greatest gift anyone gave us during that time, and I'll never forget it. Today, Michael Landon is remembered for Little House on the Prairie, for being America's dad, for his warmth and wisdom. But the people who were there at the end remember something else. They remember a man who was terrified. And they remember another man, Dean Martin, who sat with that terror, didn't try to fix it, didn't try to minimize it, just acknowledged it, honored it, and in doing so, made dying just a little bit easier. If this story moved you, subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Share with someone who needs permission to be scared. Have you ever had someone sit with you in your fear without trying to fix it? Let us know in the comments. Ring that notification bell for more untold stories about Dean Martin's humanity.